Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a special report, trucker news coming at you today. We're talking about them speed limiters. They're back at it again. The FMCSA has said, hey, we need to limit these trucks, and do we have a say-so in it? That's the question. I got a lot of opinions on it. You guys know me. I got opinion on top of opinion when it comes about everything. So we'll get to that at the end. First, we want to touch base on some facts. I want to read you a couple news articles here. We want to get the players involved in the situation. We want to get a grasp on the situation and figure out what they're actually trying to do. So, nothing to do but to do. So let's figure it out here. Let me jump into some news articles. This first one says, this is from FreightWaves. It says FMCSA revs up plan to mandate speed limiters on truck engines. Come on, agency to issue rulemaking in 2023 requiring electronic engine controls. Federal regulators plan to propose setting a truck speed limit using electronic engine device. In a proposed rule anticipated in 2023, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Act Administration on Wednesday issued a notice of intent to solicit comments that the agency will use to inform a supplementary notice of proposal rulemaking, which will include a proposal to amend the regulations and actually set a speed limit. The proposal that the motor carriers operating commercial motor vehicles in interstate commerce with a gross vehicle weight rating of 26,001 pounds or more, whichever is greater, that are equipped with electronic engine controls, ECU, capable of governing the maximum speed, will be required to limit the commercial motor vehicle to a speed to be determined by the rulemaking and maintain the ECU setting for the service life of the vehicle. The notice outlined. Okay, so basically, if you've got a Class A vehicle, 26,001 pounds or more, and you got an ECU, which is basically any truck 2,000 or newer, they're going to want you, you're going to be responsible for getting that set. Trust me, they're not going to do it for you. It's going to be part of your deal. Our deal, I guess I should say. How I'm looped in there too. Till I win that lottery, then I'm out. I'll bring as many of you with me as I can, but we're out. The FMCSA is proposing that commercial motor vehicles in interstate commerce with gross vehicle weightings, ratings of 26,001 pounds or more be equipped with electronic engine control units to limit them to a speed to be determined. Okay, that part right there is what we're questioning. I have no doubt they're going to go through with this time. They've got the big players involved on board. Everybody's loving it. Oh, they eating it like it's spoon-fed gravy over here, lapping it up. And the question is what they're going to limit it to. Now, down in the comments, let me know what you think is fair if they do limit it. Me, I'm like a 75 mile an hour guy. I think if you limit it to 75 mile an hour, if you have to. I don't believe in limiting it, but I'm saying if we have to, what do you guys think? I honestly, I think it ought to be whatever the maximum speed limit is for the country, for a vehicle. If you're driving interstate and, Wyoming says you can do 85, then it should be 85. But I don't think they're going to play the 85 game. I think 75 seems to be kind of fair. Most truck tires are rated at 75 mile an hour anyway. So you're kind of going above and beyond the rating of a lot of the truck parts when you go above 75. So, and there again, I've already jumped into opinion. But let me get through these articles. Truck speeds on the Biden administration radar. The National Roadway Safety Strategy unveiled in January by the U.S. Department of Transportation cited speed as a significant factor in fatal crashes and the use of speed management to help reduce serious injuries and fatalities. I think that's a bunch of bull crap. I'll get more on that when I get to the opinion piece at the end. Stick around to the end for the opinion piece. If you're here, be sure to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. gets the video out to more people. The NA National Highway Transportation Safety Association has proposed a new federal motor carrier vehicle safety standard requiring each vehicle with a gross vehicle weighing 26,000 pounds as manufactured and sold to have its device set so not to go over a specific speed and equipped with a way to read the truck's current and 2 previous speed settings. So there you go. I wonder if they're going to be able to like pull you in a weigh station and plug in and or see how it goes, via your ECU, because like your some of these things are already starting to like connect. Like I don't know if somehow like they could get a pre-pass that could tell how fast you'd been going, something like that. But if they do it, they're going to take it serious. It's going to be their little pet for a while. So basically, there we go. There's the rundown. Let me read these couple other stories real quick to you. I think they are of importance. So this one is from Landline Now. Speed limiter mandate comment period now open. Since the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration announced last week that it was revealing its proposed mandate speed limiters on commercial motor vehicles, thousands of truck drivers has taken to social media in opposition. Holler at your boy. Come on with it. However, a comment on Facebook or Twitter has little to no significance in the regulatory world. If truck drivers really want the agency to know why they believe speed limiters would be bad for the industry, they need to submit an official comment to the FMCSA advance notice of supplemental proposed rulemaking, and the time is now. If you go to this Landline article, they got all the links. You can click on it. FMCSA proposal about requiring speed limiters on most commercial motor vehicles officially published in the Federal Registry on Wednesday, May 4th. Truck drivers and the general public now have 30 days to provide their feedback. So you've got till it'd be like June the 3rd or something like that, 30 days. So here's the deal with this. You can go comment on it if you want to. Leave your remarks, whatever you want to do. But let me tell you, my personal opinion is they don't give two craps what you think. Has the government ever thought, let me ask a truck driver, see what they think? Hell to the no, they haven't. Go watch Nevada Trucking and Trails video on this speed limiter thing. He calls senators. He calls everybody. It's the runaround. They don't care. They don't care. Politicians think they're gods in this country these days. And they don't care what you think. They don't care what anybody thinks. They just don't care. Because they got money coming in like you wouldn't believe. This is all backed by money somewhere. And we finna get to where the money's coming from on this. And why the logic is of this. Now, in that previous article, I said, I read, that the some new committee they made up, the safety bullshit committee of America, the new little thing, probably so they could hire 50 of their buddies and give them a good paying job. That's what that was. Said that, speed's the factor in all these crashes. Here's the thing I think. It's more of a situation of, we got diesel shortage problems coming, and if you limit everybody to 65, they're going to burn less diesel. And my opinion, I think that's where they're going to set them. I think they're going to set them at 65, and I'll read why. I'll read to you why here. Let's go ahead and skip off of that Landline article. That was a good article on Landline. I suggest everybody read it. Here's the one that struck my interest when I was doing research on this. This is from Transport Topics. It's a good news site. I don't know if you guys watch Transport Topics or not, but or read it. It's a good website. It really gets down to a lot of facts. It doesn't just give you the headline article, So their Transport Topics says industry reacts to FMCSA plans on heavy truck speed limiters. A federal proposal to consider requiring speed limiters on new commercial trucks has drawn mixed reactions from trucking safety groups. So that's another thing I wondered. Is this going to be like, are we grandfathered in on having trucks that to me, this should be a thing on new trucks that are being manufactured at the most. You know what I mean? Like, let me be grandfathered in on not having it, please. Come on. But, that ain't going to work. So it says the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration on April 28th announced a formal notice of intent to advance a rulemaking on the technology. FMCSA noted that while this action is a follow-up on a 2016 joint proposal, it is issued with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. This time, FMCSA is working solo on the rulemaking. Let me get to the part I want you to hear out of this article. And this is the money. I'm getting to the money part right here. So far, the agency has not specified the speed at which trucks be governed. The 2016 proposal sought a comment on maximum speeds of 60, 65, and 68 miles per hour. The new supplemental advance rule was published in May 4th. Issue of the Federal Registry, while some trade organizations were awaiting formal publication of the rulemaking proposed comment. Here's your boys with the money, the American Trucking Association. If you think the American Trucking Association is about Americans or truckers, you are vastly wrong. It is a pay-to-play organization. The more money you give them, the more clout you got in Washington. And that's all it is. It's a big lobbying group in Washington. And the big hitters are like FedEx, Pepsi. You know, that's the big hitters. I mean, just it's pay-to-play. The more money you give, the higher status you have, and the more your opinion matters in the ATA. So don't get it twisted. They're not for the drivers. American Trucking Association is for big ass carriers with lots of money, and they lobby. That's all it is. It's a lobbying group. I'm thinking about starting a trucking association. I got to doing research on the ATA. Number one, it's hard to find out who their members are. Boy, they keep that real hush hush. Number two, there's a trucking association in every state because it's a money racket. And let me tell you, I'm thinking about starting one called the National Trucking Association, the NTA. Maybe that already exists. I don't know. I didn't Google that. But I'm thinking about starting that. If anybody wants to join, it's going to be $5,000 to join. And, hey, I'll do my best to get your point across in the legislation you want your point across in. I mean, that's basically what the ATA does. I'm just going to copy their model. Because, hey, the CEO of the ATA, Mr. Chris Spears, makes almost $2 million a year. It's not a bad gig right there. Not a bad gig. So let's read on into that. American Trucking Association and Owner-Operator Independent Driver Association issued statements in the wake of the announcements. Two very different announcements, let me tell you. The ATA, crock of crap. OOIDA, I support OOIDA, but I think it's like this for me. They talk a lot, but they don't get a lot of results anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're more like putting up billboards than getting results. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. That's what I see from it these days. I'm not against them, but I just don't see them getting many results these days. Because let's face it, what the government wants to do, the government's going to do. Like, if they want you to go 60 mile an hour in your truck, by God, tomorrow you be going 60 mile an hour in your truck. Facts. Hashtag facts. ATA said it is pleased, listen, the ATA is pleased that the FMCSA is pursuing constructive data-driven approach to the issue of truck speed limiters in the latest proposal. Well, yeah, if you're representing a bunch of mega carriers that are already governed at 62, 63, 64, 65. If you're already there, you would love your competition to be limited as well, right? Because the fact of the matter is, I was reading a news article in the last Trucker News that U.S. Express, which I'm sure a member of the ATA, they only gross like $4,000 a week per truck. So that shows you they're not utilizing their equipment right. So an owner-operator utilizing their equipment correctly is getting a lot more business, hauling a lot more freight per truck. And let me tell you, ATA don't like that, so they want to govern your truck. Now, I know when they tried to push this through in 2016, the CEO of Maverick Transportation out of Little Rock, he was a big gun in this one. He was throwing money at this, trying to get it done. And I'm like, why does he want that? Why would he spend his hard-earned money on getting everybody else limited? Well, it's because his trucks go 62 mile an hour, and he's competing with other guys hauling flatbed that are getting a lot more done per truck than him. That's the facts. And so that's why these guys, trust me, these guys ain't doing this for safety. They're not doing it for anything. I think they're doing it for two reasons. One, stifle competition. Number two, I think we got diesel shortage problems coming, and I think the government's trying to, like, back in the 80s. I swear to God, I've said this before, I think we're reliving the 80s right now. We got fuel shortages. We got rising interest rates. We got, we might as well have Jimmy Carter 2.0 in the White House right now. Come on. So, honestly, when Biden retires, he'll be out doing Habitat for Humanity. Just God only knows where he puts the shingles on the house when he gets at it. But, that's why they do it. That's why they're doing it. They're trying to limit our diesel consumption because they don't want to support, they don't want to burn up a bunch of diesel. They're trying to limit it. They probably need it for the upcoming war effort. If I was to be guess, they're probably trying to just stack some diesel. Let me get on with it. Here. In a statement, the ATA president, Chris Spears, threw up a little bit in my mouth when I say his name, said, "We intend to thoroughly review the FMCSA's proposal, and we look forward to working with the agency to shape a final rule that is consistent with our policy supporting the use of speed limiters in conjunction with numerous other safety technologies." So if you don't think they're going to throw their money in behind this, you crazy. You ain't even living in reality. It says in an April 29th blog post, ATA stressed that while it has consistently opposed rules proposing setting speed limits in the low 60s mile per hour range, it supports a maximum set speed of 70 miles an hour in trucks equipped with automatic emergency braking and adaptive cruise control. So the ATA wants you to go 70 miles an hour limited if you have adaptive cruise control and some sort of, safety braking, bull crap on the front of your truck. It says in trucks without those safety features, ATA supports a maximum speed of 65 miles an hour. So that's kind of why I think we're going to end up at 65 mile an hour, because these big organizations that lobby Congress want us at 65. That's where we're going to be, I think. ATA said the policy was last revised and voted by its Safety Policy Committee in 2019. Now, this hadn't been brought up again since 2016, but the ATA was having internal votes on it in 2019. So you think maybe they were the one that, called the FMCSA and said, "Hey, I think it's about time we review this speed limiter thing again, don't you?" Yeah, that's what happened. OOIDA in its comments suggests limiting highway safety speeds for large trucks could create unnecessary congestion, dangerous speed differentials among vehicles, and the potential for higher accident involvement rates. What the motoring public should know is that when they are stuck behind trucks on large stretches of highway, those trucks are often limited to a speed well under the posted speed limit. OOIDA President Todd Spencer said the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance is remaining neutral. So yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, there's still states that have adjusted multiple speed limits. I hate those things. Ohio used to be the worst for me because cars were 65 and trucks were 55. And it used to create just trains of traffic going down the road, because it never failed. There'd be a truck going 55 and there'd be another guy passing him going 57. Not trying to break the law, but just trying to get down the road a little faster. And it would back traffic up for miles. Literally, if you was trying to go 65, Sammy Hagar represent. If you was trying to go 65 because you can't drive 55, 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake, too much traffic, I can't pass. You know what I'm saying? If you was one of those guys, God forbid, you could never get out in the left lane, because there'd be a mile of cars out there. I call it freight trained. When you can't get in the left lane because there's a million cars bumper to bumper. It's called freight training in my world. You get freight trained and you never could pass a guy. You'd be stuck at 54, 55 mile an hour for 15, 20 miles. Most trucks are not going to obey those multiple speed limits because it creates a huge jam up in traffic flow. My opinion. I don't know. My thing is, I'm going to start printing up stickers and I'll get them in the merch tent. Whenever they set the speed limit, these stickers will be available. I'm going to make stickers that say, this truck is governed by the government at this speed. Big stickers going to the back of your trailer. That way, when people are behind you, and I'm going to make it like, wonder why this truck's going so slow? Ask the government. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm going to make up. Stuff like that, because the public's going to hate it. You know, the public's going to hate it. But the thing of it is, does the public really know that they're talking and proposing this? I say this. Be sure to tell everyone you know outside of trucking that they're going to govern truck speed limits, so you're going to be stuck in traffic a lot more. Let everybody know why it's going on. That's my opinion. Thanks for watching Trucker News Special Edition, everybody. That's it. Hopefully you learned something. Go register, or go write to your congressmen, senators, check in with the FMCSA. You could, but to me, why bother? They're going to do it. The money's going to tell them to do it. You writing in a letter don't tell them nothing, because the money gets them the votes. The money puts them in office. The money tells them what to do. To me, politicians might as well be a Sesame Street puppet, because they got somebody about that deep up in them. You know what I mean? Doing this right here. So, just keep that in mind, people. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell. Come on, join me for a live show. Look down in the description right now. There's tons of stuff up there if you want to keep watching Cash. Click one of these other videos. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, people are more important than trucking. Take care of each other. Bye.